Marseille are a giant in French football. They have won 9 French league titles and are the only French team to actually win the Champions League. Do you know how mad that is? But right now they are sitting mid-table in the French league and haven't won a single trophy in over 10 years. They are literally a shadow of their former selves, but today we're going to change that. I have become Marseille's new manager, and not only am I going to topple PSG as the best team in France, I'm going to make them the best team in the world. So this is the starting 11 I've loaded into with Marseille, and I've got to be honest boys, on paper I can't really see any reason why this team isn't doing well. As you can see, there aren't any real standout players, but everybody's really well rounded and it's a pretty balanced squad overall. And to be honest boys, they haven't exactly got the oldest team either, so age isn't even a factor in this. And on top of that, we've only got 4 players contracts to renew this year, man. This is literally the dream start. Now I'll be honest, I've tried looking online what's going on at Marseille, but I couldn't find anything, so if you guys could fill me in on what's going on, that would be greatly appreciated. Now there are a couple of players I can build this team around for now, like Jeffrey Kondogbia. He's 30 years old, 81 rated. This guy has always been a powerhouse. We've also got a very solid goalkeeper in Paul Lopez, who can definitely get the job done for us. And we've also got Guendouzi, who for whatever reason's on loan to Lazio, but believe me, he isn't going to be on loan to Lazio for much longer. So overall boys, I can't lie to you, I think we've inherited a pretty good Marseille squad here. And I'm not even going to change the formation. I think the 4-3-3 defensive variation suits this squad down to a T. And we are absolutely using the counter-attacking style of play with this team. We've got so much pace in our front three, and I'd be daft not to utilise it. And to improve this already pretty solid team, we've got 53 million in our budget to spend, but if you've had a look at the title of this video, you know it's not going to be that simple. Every player I bring in, I have to make sure I change their position. So if I brought Kylian Mbappe to the team, I'd have to use him as a left winger, a midfielder, maybe even a defender. But above all else, I would not be able to use him as a striker. But what I can't do is make a left back a right back, or make a left winger or left midfielder a right winger or a right midfielder, because that's basically the same position but on the other side of the pitch. And obviously goalkeepers are excluded because we can't train an outfield player to be a keeper, and we can't train a keeper to be an outfield player. So whilst I was praising this Marseille team for being pretty damn good, I really do wish it was a lot better at this point, because this is going to be bloody difficult. Also, a massive shout out to Carney Sport for this idea. I saw him do it about a year ago and I really wanted to give it a go. Now the first thing I'm doing is getting this budget up. 53 million to start off with is decent, but for the amount of business we're going to do in season 1, we need way more than this. And it's for that reason I am putting a load of players on the transfer list, especially Pierre-Emerick, a waste of goddamn time. I cannot wait to see the back of this guy. And after managing to sell a bunch of those players we put on the transfer list, we've got 143 million in our budget. Now that is way better than the initial one we started with. And as you can see boys, the squad has taken a little bit of a hit, but don't worry, it's not going to stay like this for much longer. This isn't your usual transfer window. I'm planning to sign at least 3, 4, maybe even 5 players. The more players we sign in season 1, the better we'll look going forward. Now to begin with, I'm bringing Wilfried Gnonto to Marseille. He's only 19, he's already 74 overall. I rate this guy so highly, but I'm not going to tell you which position I'm changing into just yet. I'm also bringing Sergio Gomez into the team. Just like Gnonto, he's only 22, he's 74 overall. I'm hoping that this guy can be an endgame player for us. And I'm also bringing in Weston McKennie from Juve. He's a beast, 6'1", 77 overall, and he's got some pretty solid stats too. And once I brought him in alongside Sergio Gomez and Wilfried Gnonto, that'll be the first stage of transfers done for season 1. And for a combined total of 34.3 million, we've signed all 3 of those players, and we've got 103 million left in our budget, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now I bet you're wondering what positions I'm going to change these guys to. Well, let me show you what I've got in mind for them. Now starting with Sergio Gomez, I'm changing him to a left winger. It'll only take 4 weeks, and whilst his stats don't look that impressive now, hopefully with a bit of training he can become pretty damn good. As for Wilfried Gnonto, I'm changing him to a striker. It'll take 9 weeks, and unlike Sergio Gomez, he's already got the stats to be a striker. We just need to train him up a little bit more and he'll be a beast. And finally, Weston McKennie is going to be a fullback. It'll take 10 weeks, and some of you might be thinking he'd be better as a centre back, but don't worry, I think I know who to buy for that role. Remember, we've got over 100 million left and we've already made 3 transfers. I am trying to be as tactical as possible with who I bring in. But now it's time to go for the bigger signings. Riddle Baku is the next one. He's 25, he's 78 overall, got some incredible stats, and I think for the position I'm going to change him to, he will be a monster. The next player I'm bringing in is Rafael Guerreiro. He's 82 overall, got some incredible stats just like Baku, and I think it's obvious where I'm going to change this guy's position to. And to probably wrap up our transfer window, I'm bringing Zinchenko into this team. as well. He's 81 overall, he's 26 years old, and those stats are good for a left back, but for another position, they're even better. And this time, for the combined total of 85.9 million, we've signed all three of those players, and we've now got 8 million left in our budget. So that's our transfer window done. And all of the training for these players to play in a different position is done and dusted. So let's go see what they look like now. Sergio Gomez has improved to a 76 overall. Now he's a winger. I hope to God I'm right in saying he's going to be our endgame left winger. Wilfred Gnonto remains a 74 rated player, but like I've already said, he's definitely got the stats to be a striker, so I've got a lot of faith that this guy can become a beast. And McKennie also remains the same rating as a right back, but look at his stats, boys. Let's be honest, he can play absolutely anywhere. I've still got a lot of faith that this guy can become good. As for our latest three signings, starting with Zinchenko, I'm turning him into a centre midfielder, and he's going to change into an 84 rated centre mid. Oh my god, we have struck gold with Zinchenko. As for Riddle Baku, he's going to become a right winger, and hopefully he goes up in overall as well. 81 overall, boys. This is just W after W. And I bet you guys guessed this. We're changing Guerrero to a central attacking midfielder, and he's going to turn into an 87 rated player. We have done brilliant business in Season 1. And now the team looks like this going into Season 1. And I've got to say, boys, looking at this team, it looks like an ultimate team side. We've got left backs as a centre midfielder, right backs as a right winger, a left midfielder as a striker. Everybody's all over the place. This is by a mile the most unique challenge I've ever done on this channel, man. I'm just hoping that this team improves massively by the end of Season 1, because that'll look so good for us going into Season 2. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm not fussed how we do in the French League, the League Cup, or for that matter, the Europa League. All I want is this team to massively improve in overall, because for me, that is more important now than success and getting trophies. So Season 1 is done and dusted, and we are second in the French League, man. Only 5 points behind PSG. We did way better than I thought we were going to do. I mean, if this is only our first season in charge of this Marseille team, and we're only starting to get to grips with it, what can we do in Season 2, 3, or 4? We also made the Coupe Nationale final, losing 3-1 to PSG. I'm telling you now, boys, the day we topple PSG as the best team in France is going to be a glorious goddamn day. But we finished bottom of Group B in the Europa League. I'll be real, it's very rare that I'm left speechless, but this is one of them occasions where I don't know what to say to you. We finished second in the French League, made the final of the French League Cup, but don't even get 5 points in the Europa League group stage, man. What is going on? But boys, look at the team, man. Primarily the players we brought into the team this year. I don't think I've ever seen growth this good before. I know I've changed majority of their positions and they grew from that, but still, this is mad impressive. And Sergio Gomez being our top goal scorer and assister is even more impressive, man. The left back converted to a left winger is turning out to be our best player. This is only Season 1, remember. We brought 6 players and converted them to a different position, and we finished second in the league, made the final of the Coupe Nationale, and well, granted, we didn't do well in the Europa League, but that's a different story. I think we've got a bright future with this team, man, and hopefully the budget next year is a bit better than what we had to work with this season, because I intend on making some bloody big signings. But before we go any further, if you're enjoying the video so far and want to see more content like this, leave the video a like and smash that subscribe button. So we are now into our second year with Marseille, and we've got over 100 million euros to spend, man. That is absolutely incredible for what we need to do this year. Now, I messed up last year. I forgot to recall Matteo Guendouzi from his loan move, but he's come back an 82 rated player, meaning he can slot straight into that midfield. But obviously our midfield trio consists of Guerrero, Kondogbia and Zinchenko, so he doesn't really fit into that format, but I do have a solution to this. I'm going to change the formation to a 4-3-3 attacking variation. This leaves Guerrero as our cam and Guendouzi and Zinchenko as our box-to-box midfielders, but that leaves Kondogbia out of the equation and he's too good not to use, so I do have a solution to this as well. I'm going to convert into a centre-back, because let's be honest, boys, those stats are definitely centre-back material, and he's going to turn into an 83 overall centre-back. Boys, me and position changes in this video are pretty good mates at the minute. I've never had more luck in my life doing this. So now the current team does look like this, and I've got to say, boys, with those two changes, it looks so much stronger already. But remember, we've got 104 million to improve this team, and I think I know exactly how to do it. So to begin the transfer window, I'm going for Joelinton. He's a centre midfielder now, used to be a striker, so this guy isn't exactly unfamiliar when it comes to a position change. He's also 83 overall, he's 27 years old, and his contract is running out, meaning we'll get this guy ridiculously cheap. And boys, believe me, we did get him cheap. We only spent 32 million euros on him when his market value is 38 million. Now, Joelinton used to be a striker, as I've said. He's now a centre midfielder, but for the position I want him to play in, you ain't gonna believe what it is. I am training him to be a centre back. It'll only take 4 weeks. I know this may sound like a wacky idea, but when you actually look at his stats, it does kind of make sense too. And bear in mind, we still got over 65 million to spend, boys. We're definitely in good hands financially. But I might be blowing all that money on this next player, Kareem the Dream Adeyemi. He's only 22 years old, but he's 81 overall. And when you look at those stats, I think you guys can kind of guess where I'm going to change this guy's position to. And guys, after signing Kareem the Dream Adeyemi for just over 50 million, that is officially our transfer window done. It may be a lot of money to spend on one player, but I absolutely believe this guy will be worth it. Now, I've been training Adeyemi to become a striker. It only took 4 weeks, and as you can see from his stats, he absolutely suits the bill for a striker. But here's hoping his overall does improve, 81 overall. Okay, that's a little disappointing, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. As for Joelinton, however, his training to be a centre-back is done. Let's see if he goes up and out. No, he doesn't either. Okay, it's been a bit of an L for improvement in overalls when the positions changed this season. But this is now how the team looks going into Season 2, and honestly, I can't help but slightly giggle looking at the team, man. It looks all over the place. Joelinton is a former striker, and we've got him playing as a centre-back, for God's sake, man. This video is just wacky. And we have qualified for the Champions League this year. We're in Group A alongside Atletico Madrid, PSV, and Rangers. And honestly, I reckon we can do quite well in this competition. We definitely won't win it. The team's got a long way to go yet, but I reckon we'll surprise a couple of teams. But once again, boys, I just want this team to massively improve in overall, man. This way, when it comes to Season 3, 4, or 5, we can properly compete for the Champions League and the French League. But we ain't just competing in the French League anymore, boys. We're winning the French League by 4 points. We have toppled PSG as the best team in France already. And we've done this by bringing players into the team and training them in different positions as well. This is just crazy. We've also won the French Super Cup, beating PSG to do it. Not only have we beaten them to the French title this year, but we've beaten them to the Super Cup. But this time we only made it to the semi-final of the French League Cup. You know what? I'll take that. I don't really care at this point. We've just won the French League title and the French Super Cup. We're heading over to the Champions League. We topped our group by 1 point in the end, and we go to the round of 16. But there we get absolutely battered by Bayern Munich, 4-1 on aggregate. We may have won the French League and the French Super Cup, but we definitely ain't ready to win the Champions League just yet. But then again, looking at the starting 11, I might be wrong in saying that maybe next year with a couple of more signings and improvements to this team, we could go all the way. I mean, just look for yourselves. The improvements in the starting 11 has been absolutely phenomenal. And Adeyemi turned out to be an incredible signing. 26 goals, 3 assists in 43 games, 50-odd million well spent in my opinion. Honestly, boys, Season 2 has been absolutely incredible. I couldn't have asked for anything better. But I'm left in a pickle, man. I don't know what players to bring in to what positions to actually improve this starting 11. Yes, we could bring someone and convert them to a right back, but the question is, who the bloody hell do we do that to? I guess we're going to have to wait and see what we're going to do in Season 3, because right now, I'm a little bit stumped on ideas. So we're now into our 3rd year in charge of Marseille, and we've got just under 120 million in the budget. And last season, I wasn't too certain on where to put that money, but after properly looking at this team in depth, I think I know what to do now. We need to find a player who can replace Kondogbia at centre-back. He is 84 overall, but he's 32 years old. His age will definitely go against him at some point this season. And whilst our suspect definitely is pretty solid, if anything happens to Lopez, we've got this guy to go in his place, and this guy just isn't good enough. And as we've already established, money isn't the issue this year. It's just finding a player who can replace Kondogbia as a centre-back. But boys, I think I've just found the player. Marsielle Gertrude. He's only 24, already 84 overall. Just look at those stats, boys. I think he's definitely centre-back material. And guys, for 60 million euros on the dot, we signed Gertrude to Marseille on a 5-year contract. As for the goalkeeper, I'm going for somebody better than Lopez. I'm going for Visario from Tottenham Hotspur. He's 6'4", he's 85 overall, and in my personal opinion, one of the better keepers in the Premier League, as much as I don't want to admit it. And with the signing of Visario done and dusted for 50 million on the dot, that is our transfer window done. Now, Gertrude's training to be a centre-back is complete. His stats already look incredible. I reckon he's going to go up in overall. There you go, 86 overall. This guy is an absolute monster. And now the team looks like this going into Season 3. This is by a mile the strongest starting 11 we can field. And honestly, apart from McKennie, this team is ridiculous. ridiculous. I would have absolutely loved to have Gertruda in McKennie's place, but obviously we can't because that was his normal position anyway. Now last year we won the French League with arguably a weaker side than this, so theoretically speaking with a better team, not only should we win the French League again, we should do way better in the Champions League. Now this time we're in Group G alongside Inter Milan, Rangers and Dynamo Kiev. And if I'm being honest boys, I reckon we dismantle this group quite easily, and depending on who we get drawn up against in the knockouts, we could potentially get to the final. So boys, season 3 is wrapped up and we were so close to getting back-to-back titles. PSG once again win the French League by 2 points this time. Ourselves and Monaco were hot on PSG's tail, but once again PSG proved why they've dominated France for all these years. But we did beat them to win the French Super Cup once again, so they can't be that bloody good. And we've also won the Coupe Nationale to once again beat PSG in the final. You know what, they can have the league. That's 2 trophies we've denied them this year. We're heading over to the Champions League. We do top Group G quite comfortably in the end, but Inter Milan crash out entirely, finishing bottom of Group G. Bloody hellfire. But in the round of 16, we do this time make it to the quarters after annihilating Benfica 5-1 on aggregate. But we get our revenge on Bayern Munich, beating them 2-0 in the quarters, and we proceed to the semi-final. But look who's in the semi-final with us: Manchester City, Juve, AC Milan. I mean, this is going to be difficult. But we've beaten Manchester City 2-1 in the semi-final. We're playing Juve in the Champions League final. Right now, Marseille are the only French team to win a Champions League, but we may be on the course to winning them their second. But look at their stats at the end of their season. Our front three, Adeyemi, Baku, Gomez, they all know where the back of that net is. And don't even get me started on the improvement, man. These boys have been absolutely phenomenal this year. But when you properly look at this team and consider where each of these players are playing, it's such a wacky team. I mean, Joelinton is a centre-back and he used to be a striker. Guerrero used to be a left-back and now he's probably one of the best central attacking midfielders in the game. Zinchenko used to be a centre-back, now he's probably up there with one of the best centre midfielders in the game. And Riddle, Baku and Sergio Gomez used to be fullbacks, and now they're 2 of the highest rated wingers you can get right now. But we have the chance to make history here. If we beat Juve in the Champions League final next, not only have Marseille got their second Champions League trophy, they're the only French team to not only win 1 Champions League trophy, but 2. We've got Guendouzi on the ball here. We've got Guerrero. He's number 3. I tell you what, let's have a pot from distance. Look at... Oh! That wasn't a bad effort at all, lad. We've got Riddle, Baku now on the ball. Look at him go. He's so quick. Oh, that's a great ball in back. Oh my God, what a save! Oh my Christ, Chesney. Fair play, lad. Case is on the ball. Former teammate McKenzie is trying to chase him, but he's just not getting there at all. Juve. Oh, that's a great save. Oh my days. Sergio Gomez is now on the ball, though. He's not got the most pace in the world, but he's definitely got some technique to him. But he's chased down by Gatti. We can get past Gatti. Nope. Get it to Adeyemi. Oh, you jammy sod. That is great defending, to be fair. Juve are coming forward now. Oh, that's... Oh, wow. Okay, we got very lucky there. That is a warning. Again, he's pushing forward now. He's looking for that run from Baku. He's found it. Baku. Okay, let's whip this ball and see if we can foul. Nope. That is just diabolical from Baku. What are we playing at there, lad? One thing I've just noticed is majority of the players in this team are actually former defenders, so we really should not be conceding. But here comes Baku. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, Adeyemi on your left foot, take a shot, blocked. Juve have come out the blocks quick in the second half, and they've got a goal just shy of the hour mark, and that is not looking good for us. I did just say Juve came out the blocks in the second half quick, and I mean, that's just proof of the pudding right there. Adeyemi's picked the ball up, a loose ball, but he's got the pace to do absolutely everybody. Look at him go. Locatelli's been left for dead. Adeyemi, Karim the Dream, Adeyemi to put us 1-0 up. Oh my days! Are you kidding me right now? Adeyemi, come on, man, you got to be putting that away. You're one of the most prolific strikers in the game at this point. We do have another chance though. Adeyemi, he's got the ball one-on-one with the keeper. Is he going to put it away this time? And he does, with 15 minutes to go on the clock. Adeyemi, Karim the Dream, Adeyemi puts us 1-1 apiece in the Champions League final. Guendouzi's now on the ball. Look at this, Joelinton. What? Hang on, why is Joelinton up? But he's I tell you what, he's the centre-back former striker about to show Adeyemi how it's done. Joelinton, who used to be a striker, converted to a centre midfielder with Newcastle United, converted to a centre back with us, has just potentially put the nail in the coffin for Juve's chances of winning this game. We may have just won the Champions League final with that goal. I don't know what the hell Joelinton's playing at, being up top when he's playing centre back, but I don't care. He got sick of Adeyemi screwing up all the chances, and he thought, you know what, I'm going to show the lad how it's done. There can't be much time left in this game. Please, there we go. There's the tackle. Knock it upfield. That was the worst knock-up I've ever seen, but it doesn't matter. Joelinton's goal was enough to win us the Champions League and make Marseille the best team in the world. You know what? I don't care that only took us 3 seasons. That was genuinely the most tricky video I have done in a long time. I challenge you boys to do this and try to do better than me, because I can guarantee you now this is a lot more tricky than it looks. And if you enjoyed this video, you should definitely click here to watch me rebuild Crystal Palace with alphabetical order signings.